because of what the situation is. So I'm seeing progress on that side in campus rec, especially when it's dealing with programming and how I guess the sensitivity levels are very much heightened now, and the understanding's more so.
By you, Ms. Voltz.
I can agree. I literally just got off of a roundtable Zoom for directors of campus recreation, and I was one of the panelists, and those are some of the topics that we discussed, those changes, how we moving forward with those changes. And one thing that I mentioned is the changes that occur now has to be conscious effort, meaning that it has to be something that's long term. It has to be something that's a staple, and it has to be something that's meaningful and not to say inclusive, but inclusive, meaning that the programmings that you create or the agendas that you set for your system changing or your policies and procedures, it has to reflect your demographics. And everybody's demographic on their campus is different. But you have to assess your demographics and understand what your stakeholders need and listen to what their needs and wants are. And those stakeholders are your students. That's your stakeholders, especially for us in campus recreation. Our stakeholders are our students. So it's very important to provide an outlet or a listening ear of what our students' needs and wants are on our specific campus, and try to accommodate those needs, but in realistic terms, meaning not just making a program to fit the trending or the agenda that's going on right now. Is forever. It is a continuity. Is what it is. It's going to be a staple on your campus.
Right, like not like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have y'all heard from students on our campus per se on any changes that they want to see? If there's anything on the campus right side, yeah, or in general.
Yeah, me personally, I have not. Jeremy, I don't know if you can speak on the programming side if you guys received.
Yeah, I've gotten some messages and emails, and some of the students I know personally just checking in, seeing the status of what campus rec is going to look like. I've had a student actually ask me what are some of the restrictions going to be when we get back, and so the interest is there. So you can kind of sense that for a lot of our students, our place is a safe haven. It is a place that they enjoy incorporating into their college experience. So those students are, those are ones that we were concerned about, and we want to make sure when they get back that the rec is someplace not only A, is going to be safe from a medical standpoint, but B, it's a place where they can get some of that energy out, some of this bottled up tension, and they can do it in a productive and healthy manner. And it's always a place that they can call home, just like the dorms. It's the rec is second nature. Where are you at? I'm at the rec, or I'm at the CAF, or I'm at the dorm. So, we want to continue that, and we want to make sure we're catering to their needs, because I think we have to understand that a lot of times we as professionals and older adults, we give 18 to 24-ish people a little bit too much credit on maturity, and especially on the emotional side when it comes to maturity. So we don't know what we're going to get with a lot of people coming back. They may have had miserable summers. They may have, this whole pandemic and the racial things got them in a different state of mind. So we have to be ready for them and be ready to help them navigate this course.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is one of the places where people can find a safe space. So I know I feel safe in campus rec, even though I don't do anything active ever.
Well, that can change.
It will, because I have quarantine weight that I really need to get off.
Me too.
So I know that those are the changes that you see, and I know students are very active in wanting change. And I think part of the discussion that I wanted to have with y'all as well is I wanted to show students how change is happening within not only the big national scale, but like the smaller scales with different fields, different, you know, communities and whatnot. But Campus Rec has always been like a leader and innovator in like inclusivity. So can y'all speak to like some of the issues or some of the trends that have come through Campus Rec as far as like inclusivity, adaptability? What kind of issues do y'all face that y'all have tackled head on?
Let me see. I think our issues as it pertains to inclusivity is making sure that our amenities can accommodate the population or the the demographics that we cater to. The demographics that we cater to. I mean, I know certain issues that that occur within campus recreation, which caused us to kind of go back and go back to the drawing board, was the whole locker room situation, as far as the identifications of how you identify yourself in these situations, and our locker rooms accommodating those situations. Whereas if you identify yourself as a female or you identify yourself as a male, okay, which locker room, you know, can you attend? Can you accommodate? So those are some of the key things that we had to look into. We never necessarily had to battle it or personally, but those are some things that open our eyes. I know Jeremy can speak a little bit more on the intramural sports, on gender neutral activities or gender neutral programs that we offer. We had to look at those and kind of audit some of the things that our wordings, our sayings. So it's very important that we stay afloat with what's going on within our campus and also just countrywide across the country. So I like we mentioned before, campus recreation is a hub. We see it all, we get it all, and we're that safe haven department where we have to be vigilant in what is being said and what's going on, and we have to stay with the times, and we have to continuously evolve with the needs of individuals that enter our department.
Right. No, that definitely, y'all are like, hopefully most of us are, and I think we are on this campus. We're very proactive. So what about intramural sports, Jeremy?
Well, one of the things we had to assess as, you know, time progressed, and we had to make sure we were staying current, abreast with, you know, what's culturally correct. And then one of the things we always did with registration of sports would always be classified as male, female. Well, we changed that total process, and we changed it to, how do you identify yourself as? And we take it upon that individual as that, whatever they identify themselves as, that's what we categorize you as, with regards of what the sport is and any of that, any of the dynamics behind that. And we also, when we promote all of our sports, we make sure that we are gender inclusive, and we don't exclude anybody based on race, gender, sexual identification, any of those descriptives. And also on the sports side and on our teams, as far as our staffing, we always encourage anyone on our campus. We don't care what's going on with any of that. You want to work for the campus rec and you meet the qualifications, this is a place for you. So we've always open our arms to any and everyone who's also interested in being on our team member, because we collectively, we annually employ 50 plus student employees. So we're one of the largest hubs on campus when it comes to hiring student employees. So it's a priority that we make sure we are as inclusive as possible to give everybody a chance and to get the best qualified employees for our team.
Sweet. Yeah. Are y'all hiring?
We did a lot of hiring in the spring. Who knows what the fall is going to have? We may need more.
Right. Well, that sounds awesome. I mean, we are. I would like to say we're all innovators here at TSU, right? So we like to see that we're being inclusive as best we can, right? I think. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about working out and wanting to, but not really. No, I was actually gonna kind of segue this into. I know this isn't athletics, but like, intramural sport, the world of sports is kind of often dictates a lot of the cultural phenomena that are happening right now. Colin Kaepernick and everything like that with the movement right now. Is there what is your opinion on how sports has really shaped activism and protest and social justice issues?
I would probably say, in our country, in America, sports is a fabric of our being. Like, it's just a part of what we are as Americans. And I think being that we have a lot of sports figures who have a voice, I think this is a great time for those who have the influence and have the voice, especially because sports, the 18 to 35 demographic, especially when you're looking at young guys who identify themselves as males. I mean, sports athletes have a huge influence on their life, the shoes, the clothes, the wanting to be like that athlete. So when you have guys like Kaepernick and guys like LeBron that are speaking out against